There's
some
too
people
many,
are coming for Ruben Amorim, right? Some people coming for Ruben Amorim. Is he playing a dangerous game by A, saying the team's that shit publicly, B, publicly saying from this jump continuously, I ain't doing nothing different. So you're very easy to read from other managers in this moment. Set up with Man United, they can do exactly the same thing. And C, is it just a case of nope, that again, we've called for this for fans. We want this ruthlessness. We want every player to be exposed. If we have to finish bottom of the league but not relegated, then so be it. We'll take that. Where are we at with this? With this?
Flex, I mean, you mentioned the Jamie Carragher comments. Well, I've actually got the quotes from him. So he said, well, actually, I've got the quotes from Ruben Amorim as well. So Ruben Amorim says, in the 10 games in the Premier League, we won 2. We are being the worst team maybe in the history of Manchester United. I know that you want headlines, but I'm saying that because we have to acknowledge that and change that. Here you go, your headline. So he's saying it a bit facetiously also as well, going, here you go, here's your headline. And it is a headline. Now, Jamie Carragher has said, I don't know Manchester United's history as well as Gary Neville, but I must say it was one of the most bizarre and ridiculous things I've ever heard a manager say. Why would you make a comment like that? That's the type of comment a pundit would make, someone in my position, and you'd have to defend that. I don't know what he gains from that, what's the benefit is. We all know it's a poor Man United team. They lost another game at home to Brighton. They've done that in the last couple of years anyway. We know it's a tough season. We know it's a poor team. He has just loosened it up. That will be a quote that follows him for the rest of the season. He said to the journalist there, I'll give you your headline. Why would you like to do that as a manager? I'll never know. He also said it doesn't help you confidence-wise going forwards. He also then spoke about how he didn't have much sympathy for the Man United players in the dressing room. They've been a joke for a few years now. A few weeks ago, after they played Liverpool, where Lisandro Martinez was talking about the mentality that was different, I nearly couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. The amount of times Man United have thrown the towel in with bad performances over the last 4 or 5 years. What I would say is, how can the manager go into a dressing room between now and the end of the season and continually to try and build them up and give them that belief to beat the opposition, whoever they come up against, when he said that one of the worst teams in Man United history? At no point can I see what he'll gain from that. That's what Jamie Carragher said.
It's very damning. What are we saying on this?
Do you know what it is, yeah? And Man United fans, we have to hold the line because we're forgetting something. There's some key components that we're missing out right now. And everyone tries to tell us that our team's better than it is. It's not. That's the one thing that we have to it's not good. We just have to really accept. We keep saying, oh, you can do something. There's a team that can do this or there's a team that can do that. No, we are rubbish. We've had these little moments. And Flex, think about how many arguments that we've had when we talk, are we better than Brentford? No. Are we better than... Remember when it was that was a time ago. But then sometimes we have these delusions where we think, we're actually good. We got these players that can do this and do that. No. And it's a thing of, we have players that might be good somewhere else, but I'm talking about playing for Man United. Man United is a job that takes out some of the best of them. Look what we do to managers. Look what we do to just confidence levels drop. What we have to now accept is we're getting into rock bottom. It's about 41 points. Past that and give a preseason and let this manager have players that he wants to work with. But we now need to be committed to the journey now. We can't now think, get someone and we're going to now fix things and it's going to be good for a couple of weeks and stuff. We've done these quick fix things and it hasn't worked. Right now, it's this dark. We need to allow this man to build, and anyone with expectation of, but he should be getting a tune out of these players. Ten Hag couldn't get a tune out of these players, and they were bought for his system. Like the goalkeeper was bought for everything. We have to literally lower our standards, which is a terrible thing to say, but it's the truth. We're shit. We are very shit. And this is what we're going to be like to the end of the season until it gets real investment. That's where we are.
No, I agree, but we have to stick to the plan, man. I think, listen, he's coming. He's very adamant. He don't want to change it. He's very adamant. And I said it on the Straight Jacket podcast. Yeah, I said that he's happy to walk. He's happy to walk, guys. He's not really asked about getting sacked. I've never seen a manager so smug.
Yeah, already this early, innit? He's like, if they have to get another manager, is he even replace me or we keep going?
Because he's just about to turn 40 years old. This is a manager that he doesn't really have like any bad. Like before, you know, the manager, you can say, you know what, Cole, they've had a bad record. He's actually gone on a good trajectory. This will not affect him. Like, nobody's going to look at him and like, are you the guy that failed at United? Well, really and truly, I failed, but at the same time, I didn't have any transfers. I didn't really, like, it wasn't my squad. You've seen the situation. Dan Ashworth left. You know, there was so much kind of commotion going at Man United. Everyone can look at him and think, you know what, fair play to you. You displaced Rashford. You sold Garnacho because he didn't fit your squad. You stuck by your principles. You know what? You spoke well in the press conferences. You know what I mean? You did what you had to do. And I feel like for me, people respect that more. And he's looking at it thinking, you know, bring me a manager that can come in right now, yeah, and do better than me. Bring me a manager. Because there ain't. Yeah, cool, we might have a bit more wins, but in terms of the style of play and these players like KG's alluded to that aren't great, it's not going to happen. He tried. A lot of us maybe thought that it could happen, an extra 20% out of these players. But it hasn't happened, man, especially play a new system as well. And I'm backing the manager on say, you know what, stick by it. Because the day he changes is the day he's going to lose a lot of fans because it's like, we want you to bring your style, bro. We don't want to see 4-2-3-1 for the sake of it. Nah, play your way, man. And let these players get out then. If you can't play my way, you get out. You know, it shouldn't be the players over the manager. It shouldn't be. We need to all learn that we've done that in the past. It hasn't worked out. Now it's the manager, his principles over the players. Simple.
Yeah, I agree with you when it comes to that side, to be honest, because I think that I really do sympathize with him because, you know, he even said it himself when he was asked by Omar Barada, right, do you want to become Man United manager? Yeah, at the end of the season. No, it's now or never. It's the ultimatum. Yeah. It's now or never. And he must have surely at that time go, well, okay, then am I going to get players in January or the summer? Because I'm looking, that's a 4-2-3-1 squad. I don't play that. And I'm not going to change that. I'm looking through this squad. We don't have wing backs. I play with them. Not as if we don't have many. We don't have any wing backs. I play inside 10s. Looking at it, you've probably got like one actual 10 and the rest in your squad are wingers. You're attacking players. You got Rashford. You got Garnacho. You got Anthony. These are all wingers that we're talking about playing inside 10s. We're then having a discussion about actually, you know, the centre forward, either or, isn't that forward that's going to lead the line, score the 15, 20 goals in the Premier League each season. So there's massive problems. And to your point, we criticize Erik ten Hag for coming in and changing his philosophy or changing his idea straight away because he had to adapt to survive. And initially it got results, but long-term, where did it get him? Long-term, it got him unemployed. So I think Ruben Amorim is right to stick with what he's doing. I think that if Ineos did pull the trigger and sack him, he could easily pull around and go, well, you know, I didn't even have a transfer window, or I had a winter transfer window, not even a summer. I didn't have a full time with the team. So, and in terms of Jamie Carragher saying, oh, it's one of the most ludicrous things a manager's ever said. I mean, it was pretty ludicrous when I remember Richard Arnold coming out at one point going, that man, we're closing the gap on Manchester City. That was ludicrous at the time. Man United have said a lot of ludicrous shit over the last sort of 3 or 4 years. Ruben Amorim saying this squad could be the worst Manchester United team ever, which is the truth, is not a ludicrous thing to say at all. You know, I mean, it's a bit ludicrous when people come out and go, see, Ralph Rangnick was right, open heart surgery. Well, we did have open heart surgery and we just didn't have the right surgeons doing it because now we need it again. And we need also brain surgery, liver surgery, any kind of surgery we can probably need. We need it all. So I think he's right to dig his heels in, keep going with it. And look, if he goes out, he goes out on his sword. You know, he'd just be the latest line of managers we've screwed up.
What do you think, Minna? You think he should just stick to this? And I know what you said about him saying that what he said, but in terms of sticking to the principles and making sure you do not change one thing and staying so strong on that. Someone said in the chat there, it's either stupid or genius, depending on how the players respond, or it's a genius either way.
No. I think I just don't know how it can pan out. Either way, the season's written off. Like regardless, the season. I actually think, Owen, the point that you referenced of the ultimatum, it's either now or never. I think when he left Sporting to take this job, he kind of put the power in Ineos's hand. Like Ineos realized he was, of course, Manchester. You're not going to say, yeah, Man United come knocking, you're going to take the job. But I don't think Ruben Amorim really beat how dire the situation is at Manchester United. You know, the fact that Ineos were in their first year of ownership, so they've got a lot of problems themselves to sort out because they've inherited a shitload of mess from the Glazers, excuse my language. And then obviously there's the parts of him coming into a squad that's not really made or tailored for the way that he wants to play. So he was actually nice enough to say that it's going to be a storm. I don't know if you lot remember, but that was off the back of the Everton game. That's actually the last game that Manchester United have kept a clean sheet. That's the only game that Manchester United have kept a clean sheet since Ruben Amorim has arrived. And I'm not saying it's his fault, because even with the backline, I don't think we've played the same back five in 2 consecutive games. It's always changing. Maguire coming in here, Euro coming in here, Leachart in and out of the lineup, you know, Mazraoui or Ahmad at right wing back. It's always kind of changing. I already said, like, Ineos will be setting Amorim up to fail if they expect him to get results and make do with what he has right now. Like, I genuinely think they are setting him up to fail. And that's why I think it's actually quite negligent that they're willing to let so many players leave in the January window with the potential prospect of not bringing in anyone, or maybe only bringing in one player. I know we're linked to Patrick Dogu, but let's be honest, guys, he's not going to solve the problems at Manchester United right now. He's not going to be the sole fixer of the issues. Man United have problems in the front line. They have problems in the creative part of the game. They have multiple problems in the wide elements. They have problems in the midfield. Ruben Amorim himself has said it will take 6 windows to build the squad that he wants. Guess what? That's how many windows he has in his contract. He's got a 2.
It's so crazy because I don't know. Have you lot even spoke about Garnacho in that today?
No, we haven't got there yet. We haven't got there yet.
There's so much. Our club's on fire. Our club is on fire, bro. Like, it is on fire. It's so crazy. Like, but
I feel like you have to have this level of chaos for it to be properly fixed. Like, if we kind of like take it step by step. Now, whenever you've seen us take it step by step, it has to be chaos. And, you know, everyone leaving now, it's good. Like, I think it's good. Like, generally, when you look at, you know, with Amorim, just to kind of quickly follow up on Minna's point, like, did Amorim think that you know, that Rashford was going to leave after, what, a couple of months? Did he expect Rashford to be this bad and then come out with a statement, say, I want to leave? You know, did he expect a lot of these players to be, you know, just not this great? Like, I get it. Like, he probably thought, that's a group of good players there. It's United. I think he was actually attracted to the idea of my United rather than the players that are there. You know, the whole United, like, yo, I'm going to manage my United, bro. Man, them. We got to go, man. We're going to get this opportunity again. But then when he realized, yo, man, the technical ceiling of this team is just, it's down at the bottom, bro. We can't even build out from the back, guys. We genuinely cannot build out from the back and sustain attacks. You know how crazy that is? He's playing Bruno left 10 role. Like, come on, you're just playing Bruno for the sake of it then? He's not suited to that role. Kobe Maino's not suited to the 6th role, but he's having to adjust because right now, the players he wants are just not there.
I think this thing about, like, saying the stuff straight up, I do agree that as fans, like, we've asked for this. When Ralph Rangnick said the open heart surgery thing, he knew he weren't really there for that long, so he just said what it is. I do think Ruben believes he has the protection of also, like, you just got me in here. Can't really afford to sack me. And I'm staying to my philosophy. Like, as simple as that. The problem is with that we're going to face. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying the issue with it is you are alerting every other manager straight away that this is what I'm going to do, game in, game out. And this is what we're getting absolutely sussed out. I'm not saying that, you know, it's not because we're a bad team. That's why we're getting sussed out. It's not because haven't got the right players. That they're all big parts of it. But the part that if you just say, I'm doing this no matter what you do, if you play 4-5-1, 4-4-2, 4-2, I'm doing this, even though these lot ain't good enough to do it. So the other teams are having a field day instantly. But we're gonna have to take it because he's basically saying, I don't care how much licks I take, which is why when I started sort of just I introduced it. Remember, I got nailed to the cross. I was like, no, I'm not. Okay, sorry. But the Newcastle game, that infamous half an hour, and I went, KG Owen, I think it might not have to be formation, but it doesn't have to. But something.
You said change it. You said change it. You said change the back four. Change it.
Don't you guys feel like he's changing it depending on the opponent? Like, look at the way that we played against Arsenal, for example, or more like mid-low